Hello, Hannah. Soul Dr. Nick here, and today is February 8th, 2025. Daily Musings, not for public consumption, just being with. I've got some canker sores in the mouth. I've been starting a new juice cleanse diet from a naturopath that I'm in, and it's been really, really good to go through something different and challenging because the body definitely feels different than usual. The energy level. This is for energy, vitality, and clarity, and this is the beginning purge kind of place. And I'm not going to do my natural purges or my familiar purges recently of the enemas, taking a little bit of a break from that. So it's just noticing what's different. And yeah, it's harder to imagine what I'm going to talk about today, but that's probably part of the brain fog. I've been reaching out and creating new teachers, mentors, coaches for myself, people who I am less serving than they are serving me. And there's a little bit of back and forth. So noticing that and being okay with that, and that's a reminder. I'm gifting someone else a breath session. Why wouldn't I gift this other teacher a breath session? So let's do that as well. I'm noticing my things around money, my things around intimacy. I'm noticing my things around being able to better clearly share what sensations I'm feeling, so I'm not triggering those, especially those closest around me. And I'm clear around just wanting to not enjoy life, not just enjoy life, but create something new. And in the creation, it actually gets more challenging. So it's the 1 year anniversary of Ohana Breath, which is crazy because we did it on Super Bowl Sunday last year. And this year, it's again Super Bowl Sunday. And it's funny that it's around commitment. So I may, if I feel like I will release at least a video, if not an Instagram live, to say that it's the 1 year anniversary and invite people in. And funny enough, it's also the time when we're launching Ohana Sage. So 1 year from then, 1 year launch. And it's a second business in 2 years, which is kind of crazy and wonderful. And now doing with partners is very different. Partners who know me better and are more invested in it. Although last year I paid someone to help me, and that was good too. And then now looking at how do we actually commit to these things that we want to do. We have a roadmap, like we've launched Ohana Sage. By the end of this month, we want to have launched our retreat that we're going to be doing at the end of this year, or around September of this year, which is super exciting. And I know I don't have the excitement right now on my face in the same way or in my voice, and being okay with that. I woke up at 2 a.m., was up with my son, all this stuff. I've got all these reasons. That's not the case. It's just a shifting. And then so many opportunities are coming up, whether it's with Judy and Immerse Yourself and the unconventional retreat in Whistler coming up in February. And then notice my brain, it makes things so complicated. It's like, oh, I can't now volunteer for the Fit for Service because I'm there. And I'm like, I could do all of it if I really wanted to. And there's a part of me that's scared. It's just scared. It's just scared of being with the complexity of it all, being with not enough, being with failing. And that's part of it too. Speaking with, I've asked 3 women to be kind of my coach, teacher, mentor. The first one got really busy with the fires, not surprising, in LA because their house is part of that. The second one, I'm working with through the breakthrough experience and everything else, which is fantastic. And then the third one I just spoke with yesterday, and she seems great. And then I noticed how I got stuck with money, with stuff around how do I talk to my beloved around this, with all the stories. And it was the clearest one in terms of creating a container that I got to choose. Let's do 3 months every second week. Let's actually do the exercises so we can actually grow with it as opposed to try to make it too quick. And all of this kind of came out of, working with my dear founder partner, Marika, and being like, okay, we need to shift things up a little bit. And that's part of it. And she could also be someone for our coaching program. So there's so many possibilities here. So I'm grateful I shared with her what's going on with me, the complexity I'm trying to create, and then how to simplify it down. Yeah. I'm grateful for my beloved trusting me with money because, yeah, in some ways it's embezzling. We're spending so much on so many different things. And there's a trust that I know this is supposed to work out this way. It's how we want to invest our life and our money. And regardless of what comes out next, we want to take care of ourselves and be the best version. Taking time to slow down. I've been listening, and I heard Daniel Morel yesterday with his own podcast, and the way he is speaking now has so much more clarity, has so many more pauses, is less urgent and rushed, and that's part of it for me to find the balance between excited and lethargic, and finding the balance of clarity. So notice as I'm going through this, that's what I'm going to start practicing. And that's what this is right now. I recognize that this whole Daily Musings is about practicing for myself, being in front of a camera, being in front of mirror work. And before I used to really look at the camera, I'm going to look at my own face now, just to see my own expressions for a bit. Even if it throws the focus of the eye gaze a little bit off, it's important for me, and this is what I'm doing this for, is me. And I can feel the rigidity in the face for the pain. There's like canker sore here, canker sore there, canker sore underneath there, and the tightness and the dryness of the body. And that's part of it as well, is there's a dryness to the body right now. Probably a dehydration, that's probably what's going on too. And so drinking more fluids, more electrolytes to rehydrate again is going to be important. And I really want to be part of Kelly Brogan's eyesight program, Clearsight, and realize that there's so many things I'm trying to say yes to. How do I take a pause? And the beautiful thing about my beloved, she never says no. She's just noticing. I'm really excited, I'll tell her. I'm going to do it, and she's going to say yes. And if she says no, it's because there's something about me that's not as excited as I think. I may be portraying the excitement, but am I actually excited? And I've waited a couple days to do Hape. I was going to do it yesterday to clear some stuff for us. Going to do it today, and I was like, let's wait on it. I've got tomorrow. I've got the breath. I'll be doing it then for sure. Because I love clearing the energy as a group, as a collective. And even yesterday we had an adjustment from a dear friend. And there's a part of me going, oh, money, is this too much to spend? Am I going too deep in this? Am I listening too much? Versus actually saying, hey, do I actually want this or need this? And then taking a pause. It's noticing the stories that are coming up over and over again. They're just stories. And then noticing, how do I notice the tightness in the breath? So a little bit, I'm going to do a little bit of breath work for myself. I've been doing more breath work. I notice one of my greatest gifts is being able to follow through with practices. Like, okay, it's one thing to say I'm going to not drink. It's another thing to not drink alcohol for years. It's one thing to say I'm going to take a breath. It's another to breathe for years. It's another thing to say I'm going to do an enema. It's another thing to do an enema for years. And it's the same thing with even the stuff I'm not as proud of, whether I worked in the pharmaceutical industry, worked at Apple, worked as a doctor, did my Bachelor of Science with honors, taught English, all these things, gymnastics for 11 years, like science projects. Not so much that I was fulfilling them to the best of my abilities to the end, but I did them for that many years. And it's the same thing with relationships, like the people I founded this business with, it's because I've known them for a certain amount of time. My beloved, we've had a decade together now, and that means something. And this is kind of the 10-year anniversary, so it's that reminder, how can I buy her some more flowers around now, and trust in this unfolding in this process. And that's one of the greatest gifts I could have given her, is time with her brother. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm reminding her not to abdicate my responsibility, but to add to the appreciation that's there. And sometimes for me, it's to appreciate the greatest gift she gives me is the ability to choose. I realize I'm really at choice now. I've got someone on my team. I've got a family. I've got people to come back to. And I don't use them as a crutch like I used to anymore. It's like, oh, I've got to go to them. And sometimes I still do. And are they asking to be that crutch? If they are, okay. But if they're not, that's me using an excuse. And there have been a lot of excuses in this life. And that's the part that I was really grateful to see. In grief, usually one of the first things, not just bargaining, but blame. Like blame. So thank you for being with this heaviness. This is a different way of being. And this is the state that I'm in. This state reminds me I'm not going to try to create the next thing from the state. Happy to reach out to my mentors, to my teachers, not trying to create the next video that I actually want people to see. Not going to create the Instagram live from here. And this is perfect for me to be in a self-reflective state, to take a look at what's there, to record things for me, even if I'm releasing it in public, to record audios, to muse, to mingle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a wonderful way to start this life. Ciao for now.